I can't help but think back to the old AMC Movie Talk days when they were talking about an actual Tetris feature film adaptation and John Schnepp's hilarious reaction to it.
Schnepp, are you excited for a Tetris movie?
I like shapes. I like moving shapes around and fitting them into other shapes. But that's not a movie, all right? This is idiotic.
I miss John Schnepp, and thankfully this is not the feature film adaptation of Tetris he was fearing. Instead, it's actually the true story of how Tetris was created and the legal battle that ensued in the Soviet Union in the 1980s, which sounded intriguing as hell when I read that premise, and it's yet another true story that I'd never heard of prior to the film coming out. And was it intriguing? Kind of. I'm going to keep this really simple, like I always do. The film just wasn't as intriguing or as engaging or as gripping as it tries to be and as it should be. I mean, the story of an American businessman going to Russia and navigating lies and conspiracy and espionage when trying to sell the rights to Tetris, how can this not be one of the more intriguing films that has come out this year so far? And it's not completely devoid of intrigue, of course it's not. There are moments in the film where I definitely leaned in a bit more and I was like, okay, I'm starting to get a bit more interested now. But for whatever reason, the film just failed to maintain that constant thread of intrigue from beginning to end. Basically, the film is a series of conversations. Hank Rogers goes from place to place, talking to different people, trying to find out who has the rights to Tetris in certain areas, be it consoles, PCs, handheld and whatnot. And people are telling him different things. We have the rights. No, we have the rights. You stole this from us. You stole that from us. And he's like, huh? What the hell are you talking about? I bought this fair and square. And sometimes it gets a bit convoluted when there's lots of different companies, lots of different businessmen, lots of different people claiming ownership of Tetris in certain parts. And you could say it's convoluted by design because Hank Rogers is just as confused as to what the hell's going on because there's so many people just claiming all sorts of different things. But I'll admit I struggled to keep up with what the hell was being said. And obviously it being a true story, you can't change the true story. And I know that the real life Hank Rogers did provide some, input and some suggestions and whatnot. So you can't change it too much, but as I was just watching the film and you're getting, especially towards the middle part, I was just like, who the hell are they even talking about right now? And the film does get a little bit corny sometimes, especially with this one Russian dude who, I don't know, it just came across as a bit of a cartoon to me in the way he spoke and the way he kind of threatened people. Oh yeah, and there's also a car chase at the end, which was kind of embarrassing because it was two CGI cars chasing each other through CGI traffic and they're going at really cartoony speeds. I don't know what else to really say about this film. I mean, the story itself is interesting, that it actually happened, and I think it would have made an interesting documentary or docuseries. Watch that probably already exists. But yeah, for whatever reason, for me, the story just didn't really fully translate to a consistently compelling feature film. Taron Egerton was really good. Like, genuinely, his acting in the film was really good. I think Tetris would have benefited from stronger direction and stronger writing to really bring the story to proper life. But as it is, the film just didn't really do much for me.